Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, again, folks, I Platter video series videos I've been doing for a while now. We're over there to try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all the things that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That at the time I'm doing this, folks, there's a YouTube channel that I subscribe to called It's a Southern Thing, which is a very good channel, by the way. Go ahead and check them out. And true story, they're partially the inspiration for me doing these food reviews. That's just a thing that you know now. But anyway, yes, indeed, folks, I'm going to go over there and eat some stuff. I'm going to blather on about it for a while. While I'm doing some inside the truck. And I'm wearing a cool shirt. Folks, when I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing? Boom! Moonlee and Yukari Oshima shirt. You can hardly tell that I've gotten stains on it from the previous two reviews. Yes, indeed, folks. Moonlee and Yukari Oshima, two incredibly awesome ladies who, during the 80s and somewhat into the 90s, were two of the greatest ass kickers on movie screens. Straight up, I will live and die by that fact. They're both absolutely incredible. I have to recommend the movie Iron Angels. That's like one of their best known films. That's a movie that needs like a Blu-ray release, like a full-on special, because it's so good. And the end fight in that scene between the two of them is amazing. So I love this shirt, and I figured it's a cool shirt. I'll show it off a little bit. But anyway, folks, yes, indeed, what with me being in the truck and wearing a cool shirt typically means that I was on my way to go... Well, no. Typically means that I went out specifically to go find something to review, and that's the case today. So what am I reviewing for y'all? Well, like I said, I just got through doing a couple other ones. I started off with Mountain Dew Legend flavor from Buffalo Wild Wings, exclusive flavor. Then I went over there and I tried one of their Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. Because, by the way, I have an entire playlist called Chicken Sandwich Wars where I've just done, it's all the reviews I've done for chicken sandwiches. And we're doing another one, folks, because we're doing the Southern style chicken sandwich from Buffalo Wild Wings. Which is interesting because Southern style, but then Nashville is also part of the South. So, all right, let's... Okay, it's colorful. I'll try to get a... Sandwiches are hard to grab. Ha ha ha! Yes, indeed, folks. It's got some coleslaw on there. I know it's got some Swiss cheese. It has pickles. That's a pickle. It's yellow for some reason on that side. I'm just gonna... Fine. So anybody who's watched my chicken sandwich reviews, I'm a big pickle guy on chicken sandwiches. I don't understand it. But for the first bite, I'll leave the damn pickle on there. See if it's worth staying on there for the rest of the review. Let's try a chicken sandwich, folks. Try to get that pickle a little bit further in there. Ugh. Oh man, these things are messy. I don't hate pickles, but I just don't see that. I don't see them working with chicken sandwiches, personally. But, okay. Now, that aside, it wasn't terrible with the pickle on it. I am going to remove the other pickles, though. I just don't need it. Just don't need it. But that's just me, personally. I don't mind, like I said, I just don't think that they personally add anything to a chicken sandwich experience. But now what I do feel adds to chicken sandwich experience is coleslaw. I really like coleslaw on a chicken sandwich. It gives it some nice crunchy texture. It gives it some sweetness to it. I love it. It works perfectly for me. So I have to give them points for that right off the bat. Now the only thing is, this seems like it's mostly what the Nashville one was, minus the Nashville sauce and the jalapeno peppers. So The chicken quality seems good. You can still taste that it's a chicken sandwich. I will say, too, this compared to the Nashville one, you get to taste, because it has less going on, you get to taste the chicken sandwich even more so. And that works because it's a good chicken sandwich. Same thing that I brought up with the Nashville one. I wouldn't mind it being crispier, especially what with it being a Southern style one. I feel like the crispiness would have been a nice little thing. And I mean, I'm sure it probably was crispy, but then you've got like a lot of stuff going on top of it. Because it's, despite the slaw and everything going on, still maintaining its structure. It's not like it's droopy or, or mushy. So, yeah, I like this one. I really enjoyed the Nashville one. Like I said, for me, this really does kind of feel like it's very similar, just sort of a dialed back version of it. But that's not entirely a bad thing, because on the one hand, like I said, I do get to enjoy the chicken sandwich aspect of it more. Get to enjoy some of the spices a little bit more. It's got a little bit of a southern kind of, southern thing to go into it. The Swiss cheese, against everything else that's going on in this, it just, well, two things. Number one, against everything else, it's hard pressed to really stand out. Number two, I'm not gonna lie, that Swiss cheese is a little bit weak. Like, I'm not a big Swiss cheese guy. It's kind of one of my least favorite, cheeses, but you put it in the right circumstances, I'm more than happy to go with it. That was some weak Swiss cheese. That was some weak Swiss cheese. I think if they'd used some better Swiss cheese, I think it would have worked better with the overall. But, weak Swiss cheese aside, I mean, overall for what it is, if you're taking it and comparing it against something like Popeyes or KFC, I don't think it's quite at the same standard in terms of being a chicken sandwich. But at the same time, like I said, I do like the fact that they had the coleslaw in. I like that aspect of it. So it's a thing where if I wanted like a really solid proper chicken sandwich, I'd probably go to Popeyes. That's typically the place I go to. Occasionally I'll do KFC depending. That's probably where I would go though. But at the same time, if I wanted a chicken sandwich with some slaw on it, well, technically if that were the case, I'd probably just go to Fry the Coop. I've done some reviews for all theirs. Again, go watch the Chicken Sandwich Wars playlist. But, I mean, yeah, so it does kind of end up being a little bit in between for me because, again, I don't think it's quite as good a chicken sandwich. Plus, I've had other chicken sandwiches with slaw on it and stuff that are better. But, I mean, I like it, though. It's a tiny bit trashy, but not in a super trashy way. And, yeah, it's just, at the end of the day, the chicken sandwich still tastes like a decent quality chicken sandwich. Definitely better than just, like, completely dead average or anything like that. Way better than anything that Burger King is offering up these days. And like I said, I mean, for me, I think the slaw aspect of it works really well. Now, that said, two final things. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it to other people? Yes and yes, but the thing is, this is the third chicken sandwich I've tried of theirs now. I believe there's two more that I still have to go through. Right now, the one that's on the very bottom was their original chicken sandwich. It was fine, but it wasn't anything close to my favorite. The Nashville is presently my favorite of the three. I like that the Southern is an option because I might not always want to go all in on something like a Nashville. But its ranking might change depending on the other two that I try. Eventually, not today. I'm done with chicken sandwiches for today. So, I wouldn't mind having it there as an option. It wouldn't be my go-to, though. Now, the other thing, like I said, would I recommend it to people? Yes. But then there's the caveat of, well, if you have a Popeyes around, I'd say go to Popeyes or even KFC, something like that. I think their chicken sandwiches are better at being solid chicken sandwiches. But I do think that these have something worth offering and something worth trying out. So, anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your... Folks, you can go over there and have yourselves a truly Southern-style rest of your life. Because, folks, at the end of the day, man, I mean, get delicious food from the South. People can be very awesome and polite. I actually have grandparents that live down in Alabama. And, I mean, I don't see them as often as I'd like because they live down in Alabama, but genuinely some of the sweetest people you could ever meet. Like, just Southern hospitality is definitely a thing. Yeah, like with any place, there's assholes everywhere. That's just a thing. But day-to-day people, extremely nice. So, final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But we can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole. It's not always the easiest thing in the world to do, folks. It can be very stressful living in the world that we live in today. There's all kinds of taxes and all kinds of stuff, folks. You got to deal with it. And it's not a lot of fun to deal with, but you got to. When you run into those situations, you might be tempted to go over there and let your asshole show a little bit, but take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in your life. Try to do better for yourself and for those around you. Sorry, my brain literally just went boop. Oh, I hope I just didn't have a mini stroke or something. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there and try yourself a Southern-style chicken sandwich from Buffalo Wild Wings, as I've done here today. And maybe, like me, you're going to enjoy it. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good sandwich. While you're eating it, you're over there and you're like, you know what? What was that YouTube channel he was talking about? Oh, wait. It's called It's a Southern Thing. And you're going to go over there and you're going to watch their channel. They got stuff going on and skits and review stuff, and it's a whole thing. It's all Southern-oriented. Maybe watch that because that's a better channel than my channel. Ain't no 2 ways about it. And then you decide, you know what, I'm going to start up my own regional-themed channel called, It's an Upper Midwest Thing. And you go over there and you do stuff about the Upper Midwest. I don't know a lot about the Upper Midwest. But, I mean, I live in Illinois. It's not exactly, I don't know exactly what constitutes. I'm bad at geography. Or conversely, instead of doing that, you could go over there and study a geography class. Because clearly I didn't. Bye.